Hi class, Mrs. Calvi here. Just want to go over the divisibility rules. It's going to be really important to memorize these just because it's going to make it so much easier for you to know the factors of a number when we start doing factors of a number, as well as long division. All right, so starting with the 2 rule. So the divisibility for the 2 rule is if the last digit is even, then the number is divisible by 2. So if we have a number such as 456, I'm looking at the last digit. So I'm looking at the 6. If the 6 is even, then the entire number is divisible by 2. So remember, our even digits are 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So the true rule is the number is divisible by 2 if the last digit is even. So because 6 is even, 456 is divisible by 2. Now, if I had the number 383, my last digit is not even. 3 is not an even number, so 383 is not divisible by 2. Okay, so the true rule is pretty easy. Let's move on to the 4 rule. Okay, so looking at the 4 rule, the 4 rule is, let's go to the 3 rule actually. Let's do the 3 rule first. Okay, so the 3 rule. So the rule for 3 is if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, the entire number is divisible by 3. So let's look at an example. If I had 132, my first step is to add up all of its digits. So I'm taking the 1 plus 3 plus 2. That gives me 6. So if 6 is divisible by 3, the entire number is divisible by 3. Well, how do I know if 6 is divisible by 3? Well, does 3 times a number give me 6 exactly? And the answer is yes. 3 times 2 equals 6. So that means 6 is divisible by 3. So if 6 is divisible by 3, 132 is divisible by 3. So remember, you're adding up the sum of its digits. If that number is divisible by 3, the whole number is divisible by 3. Let's try another one. If I had 215, step 1, add up the sum of its digits. 2 plus 1 plus 5. That would give me 8. So now, is 8 divisible by 3? So I'm asking, does 3 times a number give me 8 exactly? And the answer is no. So that means 215 is not divisible by 3. Okay? So remember, the 3 rule is to add up the sum of its digits. If the sum is divisible by 3, then the whole number is divisible by 3. Now let's move on to the 4 rule. Okay, so the 4 rule says if the last 2 digits of a number are divisible by 4, then the whole number is divisible by 4. So the last 2 digits. So what we're going to do is we are going to box in the last 2 digits. And that forms the number 12. So if 12 is divisible by 4, then the entire number is divisible by 4. Well, let's see. Is 12 divisible by 4? Does 4 times a number give me 12 exactly? And the answer is yes, because 4 times 3 is equal to 12. So because 12 is divisible by 4, 812 is divisible by 4. So the 4 rule is the last 2 digits, if they form a number divisible by 4, the entire number is divisible by 4. Okay, let's try another number. Okay, so here I have 2,825. I want to first box in my last 2 digits. That forms the number 25. So I want to know if 25 is divisible by 4. So in other words, does 4 times a number give me 25 exactly? The answer is no. So because 25 is not divisible by 4, then 2,825 is not divisible by 4. All right? All right, last one for this video, the 5 rule. So the rule for 5 is A number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is either a 0 or a 5. This is the easiest one. So if I have the number 380, I'm looking at my last digit. If this digit is a 0 or 5, it's divisible by 5. So because my last digit is a 0, 380 is divisible by 5. If I had 674, well, this ends in a 4. It's not a 5 and it's not a 0. So 674 is not divisible by 5. If I had 935, well, my last digit is a 5. So remember, if it ends in a 5 or a 0, it's divisible by 5. So because it ends in a 5, 935 is divisible by 5. All right, guys, until I talk to you next time, I will see you soon.